Disappointed, are you, Mitch, that given the form that you're in, to know these feelings?
Yeah, injury's always disappointing, but unfortunately it's part and parcel of fast bowling. So it's about recovering now and healing and getting back on the horse and I guess working back into my bowling and hopefully being back sooner rather than later.
What is that recovery and healing process from here?
I honestly don't know. I was obviously once I get home, I'll talk to the medical staff a bit more and I guess map it out and see what it looks like. But at the moment, it's just trying to let the bone heal for now.
Are you hopeful of playing in that return series in New Zealand?
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on how it heals, I guess. So be in this boot for I think 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how it's going, and probably reassess then. So no point putting I guess a timestamp on it yet until the bone heals.
Is it something that had been creeping up on you felt before, or is it just this match that cropped up?
Yeah, obviously my ankle's been a bit of an issue in the last sort of 6 to 9 months, and it's actually been going okay. So frustrating that the foot's come up and sort of felt it crack that last ball. So always disappointing, but you never know when these things can pop up.
You said your ankle's feeling better than you thought. Does that mean you're not really considering doubling up with or going to surgery while you're waiting for this at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think it was something that obviously we've been managing for a while, and I had a couple more cortisones after the Perth test. So it's actually been something that's been managed quite well, and it's been going better than probably expected after how it was, especially in Cardiff. So look, it's the foot now is not something that rules me out for the entire summer, if you like. So no point doubling up and missing extra time with a bit of a surgery there too.
Is there a feeling that the two are related, Mitch? Like that, maybe the strain from your ankle has then caused this, or?
I'm not sure. It's probably something you could ask the medical staff, but I think that's, as I said before, it's frustrating that the ankle's probably been in an okay place, that it hasn't stopped me bowling or anything like that, and now the foot's popped up. So frustrating, but not much I can do about it now.
You still have to have ankle surgery at some point?
Yeah, there'll be a point where that has to happen.
And that's multiple months out when you do it?
Yeah, I think depending on how much damage is in there and how much bone's broken off and that sort of thing, if there's more spurs or not, it's something we'll look at down the track. It's not something that I'm looking at doing right now, though.
Mitch, now that you've come to the end of this first day-night test, would you like to see more of it?
Yeah, look, obviously the crowd's been great. It was a fantastic match between bat and ball. I think that's what we're after, a pretty even contest. And I think after the week we had in Perth to come back and that's pretty much what I did was watch the test match. It was exciting. So, yeah, look, I think it was fantastic for the game, fantastic to finish the series the way the test matches played out. So I'm sure we're going to see more of it.
So much talk about the pink ball leading into it. How did it play? What was the reaction from the players?
Probably worth asking someone who played more than 9 overs, I guess. So, look, from all reports, it's held up pretty well with that extra grass on the wicket and not much of a square. So, I think if they keep doing that to the grounds, the ball's going to survive.
Mitchell, how come you came out to bat ahead of a couple of the others when you can't even walk?
I'd like to ask Steve Smith the same question.
Did you put your hand up? Yeah.
Well, the spinners were on, so he asked if I'd go out there and have a slog. So I thought that might change when they took the spinners off, but turns out I went out there.
How much pain were you in trying to run those two singles, or the two?
Yeah, well, while the Marshes were out there and V, I was quite comfortable out on the couch in the back just watching. Still nervous, but watching, and then things happen pretty quickly and they get the pads on. So, it was interesting little period of play, but glad we got over the line.
You mentioned the extra grass on the pitch. Are you happy, like in terms of future day-night tests, that it is Test cricket? Obviously, as a bowler, there's a fair bit doing there, but should it be something different, or are you happy for it to be called Test cricket?
Well, yeah, it's still Test match cricket. I think it's fantastic there was a result. As I said before, after the way the Test probably went in Perth and I guess how good a surface it was for batting. You want to see results in cricket, and especially in Test match cricket. So obviously this one only worked out to be 3 days, but it was still a fantastic game of cricket, and I think as all the crowd that were there would probably attest to, it was very, very exciting.
Talked about a few nerves, pardon me, watching on last night. What was the mood in the dressing room during the chase?
Yeah, look, obviously New Zealand are a class outfit, and they've got some very good bowlers, and Trent was probably on the top of his game again last night. So look, it was they didn't make it easy for us, and as they do, they fight to the end. So yeah, look, I think we had to work really, really hard, and it was obviously tough conditions, as we know, to face the pink ball at night. And I think the way Sean Marsh came out and batted really well under pressure, was fantastic to watch as an Australian point of view, and he probably got us over the line there.
Mitch, you had some reservations beforehand about the pink ball that you expressed it. Are you a convert, or do you still think there's more work to do?
Be careful what I say. Yeah, look, I obviously didn't take too much part in the game, and I think leaving that extra bit of grass on the wicket and not having much of a square out there obviously protected the ball, but at the same time it's held up pretty well by the sounds of things. So if they're going to keep doing that to the wickets and squares, I think it's going to be around for a while.
You touched on the crowd earlier. Just describe. I know you didn't have a huge role in the game, but what was it like? What was the atmosphere like out there on Adelaide Oval over the last couple of days?
It's always great to come to Adelaide. They always come out and watch the cricket in numbers. So look, that was fantastic again. Obviously, the first day night test probably brought in a few more people as well, and yeah, the crowd was fantastic. I think we've had roughly 40,000 each day of the test match, and about 123,000 through the gates for the 3 days. So look, I think that says enough there. It's a lot more than the first two tests, definitely. So yeah, so thanks to the Adelaide crowd for coming out. It was a fantastic atmosphere, and I'm sure the rest of the boys would say the same.
Mitch,
Last couple guys.
Craig McDermott said yesterday that Nathan Coulter-Nile, along with James Pattinson, be in line to come in for you guys. So for you, you bowled with Nathan in that one-day series. How do you think he'd be placed ahead of possibly coming into a test squad?
Yeah, I think he's back playing 4-day cricket, I understand. I haven't seen him since. He's actually around the group in Perth doing a bit of bowling through that test match. So look, he's a fantastic bowler. He's played enough cricket now to know his game really well, and if he does get the chance, I'm sure he'll do a great job.
Grant Baldwin copped a fair bit of flack in your absence. What did you make of it all?
Yeah, look, Baldy's a great team man, and he's not the person to knock anything back. And look, he's a fantastic bloke. He's obviously played a little bit of cricket in the past, and look, he's probably fitter than most players out there as well. So, look, I think if you look at last night, Baz probably misfielded a few too. So no one's talking about that, and Baldy did a great job for us, and he's probably put under the pump there by a few blokes, and at the same time, he's come out and held himself in great esteem, and probably laugh off a few things as well.
Did you offer to give him a few massages after the game?
Oh, I think I've given him a few in the past when he's been a bit tight in the gym, and yeah, I think I might have to give him one later in the week.
Given how
What
good your
about-
ankle's feeling, do you think you'll be able to get through, assuming your foot comes good for New Zealand, but also the World T20 and then look at surgery maybe?
Yeah, look, as I said before, the ankle's going pretty well, so I'm not too worried about, I guess, how that's going to be when my foot comes back. The weeks off, we're probably going to do it a bit of good as well if I keep that range in there. So for the time being, it's just trying to get that bone in the foot right, and I guess see how it is when the boot finally does come off.
Just a quick one on Josh Hazlewood. No?
Oh, the last one.
There's
Last one.
always one more.
Watching from the sidelines, how impressed were you with him in that second dig?
Yeah, fantastic. Look, he bowled like a genius, and I think he's obviously been building up through the series, and that was his by far his best performance. And look, he's definitely showed us what he can do, and he's at the top of his game. He bowled fantastic. He probably should have had Pfeiffer before the close of play on day two, and yeah, look, he definitely carried us through the second innings after probably carrying a few extra overs, and look, he's flying. He's doing a great job, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more wickets this summer from him.